Alright. Crap. Anyways. I'm gonna go with it anyways. Welding started out in the Bronze Age. Like, that's as far back as they've first discovered any kind of sign of it. So it went from bronze to steel in the Middle Ages with swords and armor and stuff like that. And then it further advanced on into the 1920s, where the first person discovered or invented coated welding, which is to help keep out impurities of the weld, and it makes it stronger. In the 1960s, they discovered and invented plasma arc welding, which is where they take and they superheat things. They superheat plasma and they join two pieces of metal together, and yeah. And there's three different kinds of general welding of today. There's SMA, which is stick welding. There's GMA, which is gas metal arc welding, and then there's TIG, which is gas tungsten arc welding. The most common of them is SMA, which is called stick as the generic term, and that's where you take an electrode and you put it in a holder, and when you touch it to metal, it makes a really, really bright flash, which is why you need the welding hood to keep yourself from going blind, and you also need to cover up your arms and your neck and any other exposed skin, or you can get sunburned to the extreme. You can peel, as Garrett's probably figured it out, and you will burn almost instantly. And I know people that have welded without shirts on, without hoods, and they've either lost partial vision or have burned or hospitalized even. And then there is GMA, gas metal arc welding. That's where you have your, I forget what kind of cord that you use, but after the cord you have argon that goes around it, and it keeps out the impurities. It takes place of the flux, which is the green material on the outside of the stick, and it keeps out impurities and it makes it stronger, as same as stick. And tungsten metal arc welding, you have two different probes. You have your tungsten in one hand and you have heat in another, and the heat actually helps keep the impurities out of it. And I interviewed a buddy of mine that I've welded with, and he's a semi-professional welder because he makes and he sells trailers. And his name is Kirk. The first time that I went over to work with him, he had made this pneumatic powered elevator in his garage. And when he pulled the cord to have it come down so that we could use it, it actually went up into his ceiling. And he pulled it again, and the cable broke, and it fell and landed on his leg. And he's had surgery on both of his knees to try and get that fixed. And I mean, what I have with Kurt is, it's just a friendship, and he's a good guy, and I've gone fishing with him, and I wanted you guys to learn something about welding that you've never learned before, something that you might find interesting, because without welding we wouldn't be this high off the ground. We wouldn't be able to build the structures that we have or sit in the chairs that we are. So that's my view on welding, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Yes.
Is that what you plan on going into for your career?
Yes. Garrett?
As far as welding goes, does that apply to plastics as well when they fuse them together?
Yes. You can weld plastics. You can't use the three that I've talked about to do it. You have to use another type of welding. I think that's electrostag welding.
Yes.
Yes.